It's a lot easier when your subject's beautiful.
I think it's possible that Ed does like photography because he does get to flirt with women.
Play with your hair again, nice.
Ed really pisses me off. He didn't really teach me anything.
Okay.
Okay, so this one's insane. I had no idea that Big Ed has been a professional photographer for almost 20 years, and apparently Liz wants some new hobbies, so he's trying to teach her how to do photography in this one, and it ends up with them hiring Liz's best friend to do the modeling, and Ed spends the entire time, quote, flirting with her, which leads into an insane fight. So, you know, this one might be the most cringe episode that we have seen so far of the new Ed arc. It's been pretty soft in terms of cringe so far. If you really believe you're brave enough, make sure you watch until the very end. Without any further ado, let's get into this, shall we?
Liz's friend Alex wants to have some professional photos done, and I'm a professional photographer. I did it for about 18 years.
Okay, this is out of left field. Again, we don't really know what Ed did before this. I'm pretty sure I heard something about him being in advertising. Apparently, the way he's made his buku bucks in his life so far is just doing fashion photography. Gotta say, if you had a career in it for 18 years, you probably made some pretty serious money. And I knew this guy came from money already. We can tell. I mean, he lives in a nice area of California, got that nice BMW and all those little Vespas. But still, okay, you get your bag, Big Ed. I see you. I see you.
So I have 6 photo covers to my name. Liz has expressed an interest in learning photography, and I wanted to kind of teach her something about what I do.
So yeah, the premise of this one is Liz is about to learn from the master. He just said he has 6 freaking covers of fashion magazines in his entire career. That's pretty insane. I don't know how much you get paid for a single one of those, but that just goes to show that this dude's work has been, you know, some insane places. That's a level that I think most photographers probably wouldn't expect to reach ever.
I want to find hobbies with Ed. I love doing hobbies with him. And that's why I'm taking an interest in it so much. My friend Alex is a professional model.
And look, guys, I skipped past the part where they showed Big Ed's professional photos from his career before this, because even with TLC's attempt at blurring some parts of it, it's just not something I can really put in this video. This man has taken some, let's say, freaky pictures in the past with his modeling photography career. So I'm interested to see how this shoot ends up being. I have no idea whether this was Liz's best friend's idea to do this photo shoot, or Liz herself, or maybe Ed. But if it was Ed, he was definitely just trying to check out her hot friend and take pictures of her, all right? I'm sorry, that's what it is.
I'll do a couple practice shots, and then if I have to adjust my ISO, I'll do that. My f-stop's at 2.8.
And Ed literally has not even talked to her about camera stuff before, and already he's just rattling off numbers. I'm sorry, this dude is not going to be a good teacher. I'm sure he's a professional. He's got some crazy gear in front of him. I mean, he's still shooting with DSLR, so a little bit questionable. I guess if you're doing stills only, that's a fine thing to do, but yeah, he's just like, okay, I got my ISO set. We got a f2.8. Of course, that's going to give us a wider bokeh and give us some good separation, depth of field action. Like, Liz has no idea what the hell any of this means, Ed. You got to go slow, man. I know you're trying to act like a professional for the cameras, but you can't just jump into it like this.
Get into that another day. Always take off the lens cap. Let's have fun.
Dude, I know they're in a serious relationship and about to get married in this show, but they are so awkward together still. You can't tell me that this woman is not just chasing a bag and this dude is just chasing some clout by being on the show. Neither one of them seem natural with each other in any moments throughout this entire series. And more amazing tips from Ed. Make sure you guys, when you're taking photos, this is something a lot of people overlook. Make sure you take your lens cap off, all right? I'm surprised he didn't charge us for learning these facts, you know? He could be running a photography school for all I know.
I know how to use a camera pretty well, but definitely not
You mean an iPhone or a camera?
I know how to use a camera pretty well, Ed.
Dude, and what was I just saying about them not liking each other and being unnatural? Look at the freaking tension right here in this interview shot. You can tell this is one of those relationships where, I'm sorry, I don't like to generalize, but I do sometimes. A lot of older men, all right? A lot of Gen X and above dudes, which I think Ed is about Gen B or A, one of the OG ones. He's old. But anyways, a lot of those older types of dudes, their comedy is kind of weak. I'm sorry. A lot of the jokes that people like around my dad's age or my grandfather's age make are at the detriment of their wives, basically talking down to them, talking about how they're so dumb and all that stuff. That's pretty much what Ed is doing here, and I'm sure the reason she got annoyed is because he is like this 24/7 in private. I mean, he can't even give her the benefit of the doubt that she might know a few things about cameras. He's like, well, you know a thing about a phone. Because remember, you're half my age and you're addicted to your phone. Young people are so dumb. That's got to be annoying, dude. Like, there has to be some really parental vibes when it comes to the way that he talks to her, like, just with the age gap overall. He kind of looks down on her and thinks that she's just this young, naive, stupid person, and that's not really how you should be looking at your significant other. You should be seen as equals.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, so
Cool to see you.
This is so pretty.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
You look amazing.
I brushed my hair.
You look great. So why don't I just have you sit here for a minute?
So this is Alex, Liz's friend, and look, I'm not gonna make any assumptions, but just off the way this woman looks, I'm gonna guess Ed is the one that might have been like, hey, Liz, you said you wanted a new hobby. You know, I do photography. Let me just throw this out there. You got that model friend of yours. Why don't we call her up, go to this place in the dark, you know, at night, and I take some cool photos of her / hang out. You know, it could be like a little triple date. Well, not a triple date. I shouldn't say that. I'll teach you how to do camera work. Like, that's how he swindled her into the situation. I swear, dude. This was definitely Big Ed's freaking idea.
I might use Liz to adjust the lighting, so that's kind of what she's doing.
Perfect.
That's
Okay. Sounds good.
Nice, beautiful.
And already, I know this might be editing, but Liz is looking salty. Like, I feel like they both have so much control issues and so much insecurities when it comes to this relationship, which is insane that Liz would be insecure in this relationship. I know she's not entirely the biggest catch of all time, but we're talking about Big Ed here, okay? Especially in the looks department, you should be feeling pretty secure that you're out of his league, I would say. But now that this friend's in front of here, Liz's face has turned upside down and she is just frown city. She seems to take offense to the fact that Ed is trying to hype up the actress here. I mean, what do you expect? When you're a photographer, you have to have some sort of poise and, you know, interaction with your models in a way that's natural and you're complimenting them. That's how you're going to get the best pictures, is when they're feeling good about themselves. So instead, Liz is already like, oh my God, he's flirting with her. I can tell already, which is not a good sign of how this is going to go.
It's a lot easier when your subject's beautiful. All right. Well, that's kind of cute. Do that again. Okay, nice. Okay.
Dude, this is so freaking awkward. Okay, now Ed is turning it up to 11. What I just said about you wanting to be confident with your people, that's maybe different if you are teaching your significant other who's right next to you how to do photography. Not that I think Ed should be talking to his clients any differently when Liz is not there, but he is definitely trying to flirt and spit some game to this friend of his, or of Liz's, I should say. That is insane, and Liz's face is really just not feeling it so far. Meanwhile, Ed is just over here taking photos like, yep, oh, wow, yeah, you look gorgeous. Oh my God, I wish I was single right now. You are so fine. Wow, you are hot. Like, dude, chill out a little bit, please.
I definitely came into this hoping that I was gonna learn some techniques, but I'm definitely feeling like Ed is just showing off.
Well, you're with Ed. Again, I don't know how you expect this man to teach you anything. He can't even hold a normal conversation about anything with you without making it weird. Of course, he's gonna make trying to teach you a simple hobby like photography weird. Ed has maybe given out a couple little pieces of info, like, yeah, right now I'm on ISO of 1,000. You don't want to go too high. Very basic stuff like that. But for the most part, he is just sitting here complimenting Liz's friend while taking 1,000 photos of her, and Liz is just standing there awkwardly, not really being told even what this process is or what he's going through in his head while taking these photos. You know, average things you think you'd tell your student when you're teaching them how to do photography. No, Ed is just all in this for the photos and this experience. He's having a really grand old time right now.
I think it's possible that Ed does like photography because he does get to flirt with women. I just really thought that he'd be engaging more with me.
I feel bad laughing because that is such a earth-shattering, heartbreaking revelation to make. To see this man at work, you know this is what he's been doing as a job for 20 years, or at least he did at some point. And if he's still doing it, this has got to be making her think, what is he like when I'm not here? You know, I have no idea how many shoots he might be doing. Again, I don't even know if he's been doing it since they've been together, but if he is, you know this man's out here flirting like on 100%, maybe 110% flirt mode while Liz is gone, if he's acting like this in front of her. And again, I know I might have some photographers out there who are like, no, dude, that's part of the job, but I'm sorry. You could tone it down a little bit when you're in front of your significant other teaching them how to do photos.
It looks like she has no neck.
No, it doesn't.
Well, like here. I mean, that's just my thought. It
no.
looks like...
Yeah, don't ever say that in front of her.
Dude, Liz, you gotta pull back, okay? You gotta go out of body experience in this freaking moment. Think of who the hell you are talking to. You just made the critique that the photo that Ed took, the model who is insanely gorgeous, you can't see her neck. That is like the first thing you notice. I'm sorry, that's not something you point out in front of Ed. He's been told that his entire life, all right? That is just straight up not cool. I know she wasn't thinking about it, and it's not like she can't ever comment on other people's necks, but you gotta know that's a soft point, and you could tell by the way that Ed just reacted. That was definitely, you know, a blow to his heart and his ego.
You're not here to critique my work. I'm trying to teach you what I'm doing.
I'm not critiquing. I'm trying to tell you what I like.
Right. But it's what the model once.
And this, of course, breaks them out into a freaking fight because not only did you comment about a neck, you don't do that in front of Ed, all right? That's one of the deal breakers that he has. You don't comment on other people's necks and their status of their neck and the fact that they look like they don't have one. But also, she is now critiquing his work that he's spent 20 years trying to master, which I would say, I have no idea of this man's caliber of photography, but he had to have learned something. So I'm sure what he's telling her, is good, but I think she was just voicing her opinion as well. But now it's gonna blow up into something way more than it needs to be because, well, this is Big Ed and Liz, and this is also a TLC show, Drama City.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
See, it's easy.
I'm kind of speechless.
Part of my job is to build the model's confidence.
And Ed just ditches Liz mid-conversation. I don't know if that's how they have their fights normally off screen, but that's not a good sign. The man just shuts down and heads over to the hotter friend next to her and is like, all right, anyways, let's take some more photos. Yeah, okay, maybe some from the right here? Like, dude, settle this fight with your girlfriend before you continue, especially since you're fighting in front of her best friend. That makes things 1,000 times more awkward. And I'm sure many of us have been in this situation where you're around people that are fighting and it's just so uncomfortable. You don't want to be a part of it, and it really ruins the vibe.
Saying she looks like she has no neck, it's just unprofessional. And that kind of pissed me off, and I'm sure Liz didn't mean to, but...
See, it's unprofessional. Ed said so himself. I do think that is a little bit unprofessional to say little things about the model's body in front of them while you're taking the photos, but that's more about the way that Ed was posing her and the way that he shot the photo, I think, is what gave off the look that she might not have a neck. But she does, okay? And so does Ed. All right, don't say anything about his neck. He will go into attack mode.
And I'm sure Liz didn't mean to, but I get teased about my neck all the time. So I'm a little sensitive to that.
Oh, man. And he even says it himself. I feel kind of bad, dude. I know I shouldn't feel bad for Ed, but wow, that has to be a sensitive subject for him. Think of the relentless hours of just torment he suffered through his entire life because of this attribute of him that he can't control. That's why in the beginning, of course, I would call him, oh, it's no neck Ed, all that stuff. I just call him Big Ed now because obviously that is a very intense feature of his, but I don't think it's something that we should really judge him for. Instead, it's just his cringe actions that I'm all about.
I think that you didn't use your 2 ears
Yeah.
to listen.
Babe, you're the student. I'm training you.
You didn't train me the whole time you were training her.
And the jealousy is coming out here. More fighting right in front of the best friend. Ed is trying to diffuse it a little bit, and Liz is like, no, dude, I want all the smoke. You're not hearing me out. You are literally flirting with my best friend in front of me, which, again, I don't really think it's been fully flirting. I think Ed could probably tone it down, watch his tone a little bit. It's a gray area, but you guys let me know what you think of that down in the comments below. Either way, it's getting freaking awkward, and I think one of them is going to storm off here.
It took me 18 years to get here.
Well, you're not listening to how I feel. You didn't really teach me anything.
Okay.
So.
Sorry, babe.
Oh, man. And Liz freaking walks off. She's cussing up a storm. She is not happy. And Ed just goes into defense mode. Is like, anyways, check out these photos. You want to take some over here? Maybe you can sit on this ledge? Yeah, we'll get some cool shots over here. Please, take my mind off this awkwardness. I'm sure that's what he's thinking inside, at least. But wow, this is just not a good vibe. And it's kind of insane. Liz says Ed pisses her off. She storms off, like I said. She ends the episode crying as Ed is just reviewing these photos with his friend, his new friend, I should say. But yeah, it kind of leaves us on a cliffhanger. I know, obviously, these episodes are a little bit old at this point, but I'm going through it at my own pace, all right? I'm slow with my reactions. It's fine. But make sure you check out next episode to see what ends up happening from this situation. Let me know if you enjoyed this one. Very cringe for very many reasons. And you got to turn down the flirting. Make sure you check out the Patreon. Thank you to everybody who support me over there. As always, I appreciate you guys watching till the end of the video. And until next time, peace out.